This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
No, she seriously is. Look at her right there. I love looking at this woman, and I hope that I love looking at all these folks out here.
Aren't they great?
I love doing all of this. We do it all for you. My name
So
is still
fun.
Mitch English, and this is Daily Flash.
Yes,
we got
it
today's
is.
talk and tomorrow's trends.
Okay, I heard a story about women in New York looking for a cheaper alternative to rent. And guess where they're going?
Craigslist. To
Back
rent?
page.
To hotels?
That's no.
Back page.
It's kind of like a hotel.
YW instead of instead of the YMCA, the YWCA. Or,
Nope.
No, wow. Dog shelters. Man, you got me on this one. Where are they going, James?
Hostels. They're going to
No.
hostels.
Nunneries.
Really?
Nunneries.
Nunneries.
Are they like saying I'm
Nunneries.
giving up, or do they have
No,
space?
but they can go and as long as they abide by the rules. Shocker, somebody actually has some structure and rules. They're allowed to stay in the nunnery, and they don't have to pay rent. But they're given a certain amount of time where they can kind of stay and gather themselves,
Get
so to
themselves
speak.
a
Yeah.
nunnery.
So this isn't long term, or is it?
Not a long-term thing, I guess, unless you decide you want to become a nun, and then you can probably stay there. But
okay.
but I thought that was
Wow.
interesting. So they provide a safe haven for women. It's for women only.
Right.
And they're fed 3 meals, and they've got to help out around.
Right.
I don't know if you call it. I guess you don't call it a monastery, but you call it a nunnery. We'll just leave it at that. And obviously no visitors, no male guests. They have to abide by the rules. They've got to clean up after themselves, make their beds. The basics.
Like when you stay over somebody's house,
Yeah.
the common courtesy
Yes,
that you might
exactly.
have. All right. Well,
so this is happening in New York City, where apparently the
buy it.
rents are now at an all-time high. It's never been more expensive to live in New York City.
and obviously it's part of a nun's life is to give and offer
Yeah.
open door policy. I could see that. Hopefully no one takes advantage of it, but we hope for that. But at least I know if I was a woman, that would be a very safe place for me to go. I wouldn't have to worry about
You
it.
said no men, right? So no priests at all?
No men. Yeah. No men, no male visitors.
You're not supposed to.
You're not
You're not
supposed
supposed
to.
Fellas, if you're lonely,
Maybe you
wait
sneak
outside the
somebody
nunnery.
in.
All I know is right now in my mind, I'm writing a Netflix comedy right now. Okay? Because that's what it sounds like
It's
it's
like
going
a
to lead.
bosom buddies, but
Yes.
for women at a nunnery.
See, you can be my co-writer.
Yes, I love it.
You're going down the road that
I
I've already
love it.
put
I love it.
Very
Well,
nice.
we love to hear from you, and one way we like to do it is ask our question of the day.
Yes. Question of the day. What TV world feels most fun? What TV world feels
So
most
this
fun?
could be cartoons, could be
It could be
anything at all.
cartoons, could be
Wow.
sci-fi. I got one.
I think that's generally, sci-fi would be most of it, yeah.
Sci-fi. All right, which one though? Give me one. Give me one.
Well, I appreciate what they always did, like on the Enterprise, on the new ones where you had the virtual room,
The holodeck.
the hologram, the holodeck, yeah. So something along those lines. I
Okay.
think I just watched a movie called Passengers with Chris Pratt in it and Jennifer Lawrence, and it was supposed to be in the future, and they're in
Yeah.
a spacecraft, and I was like, all the cool stuff, you just press a button and food comes out, everything we saw on the Jetsons. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
say, you know what? I'll say
So
the
the
Jetsons.
Jetsons. Okay.
I thought you were going to say Seinfeld. I just started
That would
watching.
be fun,
I
yeah.
just started watching. I never watched it when it was on the air, so I'm kind of late to the whole Seinfeld thing. So I finally started watching it, and it's wonderful. It's so timeless with its writing and its issues, but the set seems really fun.
I like the fact that they're friends,
Yes.
and they're always,
Yeah.
they get along, they go through their things, and they get each other. So the environment of that, I can appreciate.
I got something easy. I want to say Izzy gave a good one. She's in the control room. She's our graphics girl. She said Fallout. So I thought that was dope.
Girl, like she was
Said
going to Fallout,
She
really?
said Fallout, yeah, because I asked.
I mean, if you
Well,
watch
think
that
about the
show,
set, it
She
would
said
be kind of
Fallout.
cool.
I would like to visit there. I don't know why I want to live there, man.
See, I'm a sci-fi guy, so I actually have two, either The Expanse or Star Trek. So either one of those two
Okay.
worlds.
Yeah, because Star Trek takes you to all these different places.
Yep.
That sort of
Strange New Worlds.
thing. Strange new
And
world.
what do you call it when you teleport?
Teleport.
Teleport, yeah.
Yeah.
Beam me up, Scotty.
There you go.
I love
Alright,
that.
so-
We would love to hear, are you at home exactly? Where would you like to live? What TV world, at least? It could be our world. You're already involved in it. I mean, why not? You can hang out with us. You're doing it now.
You're here.
You're
you
here,
might as
you're
well.
Bring food.
Yeah. But we're just like a nunnery. We want you to clean up after yourself.
No visitors.
No visitors.
Yeah, and make your bed. And don't drink too much coffee.
Please.
All right, so AI voice cloning scams, they are on the rise now with scammers using audio clips from social media to recreate voices of loved ones. I'm sure you've heard about this. A California mother recently lost thousands of dollars after receiving a call that sounded like her daughter was being kidnapped. The FBI says Americans so far have lost nearly $893 million. Nearly $1 billion to AI-related scams last year, including voice cloning. Scammers often create urgency with fake emergencies, demanding immediate money transfers, and may use caller ID spoofing. Experts note that AI voices are now so advanced, most people cannot tell the difference. Here are a few ways you can protect yourself and your loved ones. Establish a secret family code word and agree to verify calls by text. And be wary of deadlines or requests not to tell others. And better to risk a false alarm than fall for the scam. I think the secret code word is a really good
You should have one with your
option.
kids,
Yeah.
first off,
Yeah.
at any time. Hey, I'm here to pick you up. All right, well, what's the secret word? That sort of
Yeah.
thing. But
For me, if I don't recognize the number, I don't answer. So
Same here.
Because I know a lot of
100%.
times when people answer, they say hello, they got your voice.
Yes.
And they're not only that, they're seeing if your phone is an active phone number. I mean, it's just a computer calling and that sort of thing. And they don't need much to get your voice to
Right.
clone it. So keep that in mind. Your best bet, I think you even just said it, was that say, all right, I know, okay, if this is a real person, whatever, let me call you right back. Now, another scams that are happening a lot you're seeing is that it might not be somebody you know, but they'll be on camera and they're using the face thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you suspect that, tell them to just put their hand in front of their face. That's all they have to do.
Their filter, yeah.
Because it's a filter on their face, and they are getting
my
extremely
God.
real as well.
No way.
Yeah.
Very, very real.
They started using those for Zoom calls and stuff like that, so it makes it seem like
So there's going to be, men that look like women in the thing, but have them just put the hand in front of their face because then the filter doesn't work.
So if you're getting a video call from someone who claims to be someone you know,
Yeah.
and
or
you're
maybe
not-
you don't know, or
you
like
don't
you
know.
just
Okay.
like this doesn't feel right,
Okay.
because they're hiding their identity. So
Yes.
keep that in mind. But back to that sort of thing, and they're preying on the elderly because
Yeah.
they want to help out. They want to, make sure their kids, it freaks them out and that sort of thing. The best thing is let me call you right back. And if they go,
Yes.
no, you can't. That should be another flag,
Yeah.
if you need to keep it on. There is a whole website, by the way, with scammers. And I hate to say this, but I get to the point now, if I get on the phone, if I hear somebody that might have an accent that is from a country that we hear a lot of scams come from, that's the first thing I think about.
Yeah, of course.
Even if I'm the one that made the phone call, it's like, wait a minute. So I think 3 or 4 times. Google the phone number
Yeah.
if you have to. If you get a number and you're that tells you to call back, or you get an email, just Google it. I think a lot of people, they can mask the address to where you're going.
Yep.
Hit reply, but don't hit send, and then go up and see where that email is actually going. If it has this crazy number before the actual name,
Yes.
there's just little things that you
WhatsApp
can do.
and all that stuff. Yeah, they do a
Yeah,
lot of that
WhatsApp.
stuff.
What about the spoofing of phone numbers? I mean, that's taking it to a whole other level. You might be on your game and you might say, oh, I do recognize that number, but it's not really that person's number. It's just a mask.
Yeah, it's wild because I have to deal with it when I'm doing stuff overseas.
Yeah.
You got to be careful who you deal with. You have to go through certain platforms, and if they try to bring you off the platform,
That's a
for
big flag.
payment.
Yeah.
Even for payment, you gotta no, we
really?
can't do it that way. We have to go through the platform.
And we sit and you think, like, how can anybody fall for that?
Yes.
And
Do it all the
more
time.
and more people do it. So you have no idea. There's billions and billions of dollars of people doing these sort of things, and they range from $100 to sometimes. I've seen some videos where they caught these scammers thousands, like $10,000, $15,000 that they've given in life savings as well. So it is something scary. Your best bet is, think it out. If they try to tell you to go off a different platform or whatever, that's the reason why. Offer to call them back as well, because they do not want you to have their phone number.
That is
at
true.
all.
That's
your
a good
that's
point.
your best bet.
Yeah. And if they want you to pay them in gift cards,
Red flag.
100%. And that's a pain in the
flag.
ass. Why would anybody want to do that in the first place? Like,
know.
because they think that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All righty. Stay safe out there. Again,
Yeah.
it's better to doubt. Trust me, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself. Hey, we got a little bit more coming up on the show. We're talking staycations.
Yes, we are. And for friends, we've got some great stories. Punch the monkey. Punch the monkey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a
Punch.
person, not a statement.
Yes.
All right, here's our brain flash question. What's the only food that never spoils? Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's see if you got today's brain flash question, if you got it right or not. Here's the question. What is the only food that never spoils? Here's a hint. Bobby Goldsboro had a song, Honey. Honey. They found honey in the pyramids, you know. It does not spoil whatsoever, and it's delicious. And bees bring it to us. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Now that you've been educated, forget the airport this summer. More Americans actually staying home, opting to save money and go on a staycation. Here with more insight is Emily Stewart from Business Insider, telling us a little bit more about her investigative work on staycation. Is it really becoming more and more popular, Emily?
I mean, I think this summer is a good one to stay local. If you think about it, gas prices are quite high, not as high as they were maybe a couple weeks ago, but gas prices are high, flight prices are high, and there's a lot of neat stuff going on in the United States right now. The World Cup is underway in 11 cities across the US. And so, like, if there was ever a moment to stay home, this might be it.
All right. What do you think is driving that trend right now outside of, you mentioned gas prices or any other factors?
I mean, gas prices are certainly part of it. Flight prices are quite high as well, especially to Europe and other foreign destinations with the conflict in Iran. And, I think also a lot of European destinations have been a little bit tired of American tourists to some extent. If you think about Spain, Japan, Italy, we've heard stories of them kind of feeling like they're overrun with Americans. And, I think a lot of Americans too don't love to get to their foreign destination and say, well, wait, is everybody else just here with me? And, we are just seeing too, people are nervous about the economy, right?
Yeah.
Inflation is kicking back up. The job market remains, I think a lot of people feel like it's iffy, even if on paper it's not. So a lot of people are just kind of looking around and making the calculation, like, is this the summer to do my big international trip? Maybe not.
Okay, well, you talk about international trips. I just got back from Italy, which everybody around me is so tired of me talking about it. I had such a wonderful time. But why are European cities now actually becoming less appealing?
I mean, I don't know if it's less appealing, but I do think, obviously flight prices are quite high.
Yeah.
I went to Argentina earlier this year, and obviously that's not Europe, but flight prices between I booked and somebody else on my trip booked went up enormously over the course of like 2 weeks, basically. But also, Europe is not feeling great about the United States right now, I think for a lot of reasons. The political environment is a little bit tough. And so a lot of American tourists are going not only to Europe, but even like Canada, and finding that Europeans maybe are not as, in love with them necessarily. And part of that's politics and part of it's, like I said before, a lot of these cities have really felt like they're overrun with American tourists, and that, that they want to go to their favorite places and now there are all these tourists there, or, they want to rent homes and apartments in their cities and they're all Airbnbs now. And so I think that is just like a calculation. It doesn't mean like Europe is a terrible place to go. It's a wonderful place to go. But it is one that might make some Americans kind of think twice about their travel plan.
You're 100% right. Matter of fact, having been just back from Italy, there was lots of talk saying it's overpopulated and they're trying to slow down tourism, which sounds so weird, but they're like, let's just hold back. Hopefully it won't bite them in the back, then people quit going altogether, which I don't think is the case. But let's talk about the staycations. Give me some ideas. What's some of the best low-cost staycation ideas besides sitting in my underwear and with popcorn all over the bed?
I mean, I talked to one person for the story that I'd done on this who said like he was going to look into local camping trips, which I think is always kind of a nice option. Like I said before, if you're close enough to the World Cup, like tickets are really expensive, but if you're not taking that big vacation, maybe you can go to a game or catch a watch party. And I think a lot of people, have things in their cities or nearby that they've wanted to do. There's also been a dip in international tourism into the United States. So it might be the case that if you wanted to go to Disney, to the Grand Canyon, that isn't going to be so crowded with international visitors. And so that's an option to check out the things around you that are nearby that maybe won't be as busy this year.
And what about, like, is influencer culture, is it spoiling some of those trips and that sort of thing?
I mean, definitely. That's been, I think, a theme for a few years, right? Where everybody gets the same idea from Instagram or now, from ChatGPT. And then everybody goes and thinks that their original idea was original. And actually, no, it's just you saw some guy on Instagram who was going there. And so that I think is always an issue. But at the same time, I always think like sometimes these places are very popular for a reason, right? And so
Certainly.
sometimes the best places are popular, but that can be tricky too. And if avoiding crowds is something that you're really worried about, then probably going on like the top 5 influencer destination trips, like that's probably not the best idea for you.
I agree with you on that. All right, now we always want to leave with the positive. Do we have any good news for travelers this summer?
I mean, it's summer. I think like that's the good news like,
Okay.
overall. And gas prices are coming down. And so that is good. Like, are they where they were a year ago? No, but they're also not as high as they were a couple of weeks ago. I think that's good news. And overall, like, it's summer. It's hard to be too upset, I think, at this very moment.
I agree with you. We're fortunate here in Orlando. We have the theme parks if we're going to do that sort of thing. The bad news is that everybody, all our relatives know that, and they want to stay with us and go to the theme parks to save money on hotels. We go, no, try a staycation. Emily Stewart said you should do staycations. Thank you so much. And if you want to check out more of what Emily has to say and has learned in her articles, of course, you can check out her on the website Business Insider as well. We'll also post this on our website, the interview at dailyflashshow.com/FMI. Well, check this out, Jackson. A new behavioral study suggests that I might be just in luck, that women find men with bigger bellies more attractive than slimmer, more traditionally fit body types.
Huh.
Yes, I know I'm the one saying it. We'll get Jackson's result on this. Researchers say the preference is often linked to the perceptions of warmth, stability, and confidence rather than physical appearance. Do you buy into that?
The dad bod.
Yeah, that's
the
really
dad
what we're
bod
saying.
trend. Yeah, I think there is some sort of comfort and personality in that. You're sort of like, it's kind of like that protective dad thought. I don't know, it's weird, but I can see where this is coming from.
I never will have to worry about this, but sometimes when you're really strikingly good looking, your personality is well ahead of you and people perceive you as
You have both looks and personality,
yeah.
friends.
This is Tim. Tim is all about time, and if you've ever had a chance to look into Tim's cold, dead eyes, you'll see that it's time for you to follow us on social media. Sure, there's 10,000 social sites out there, and we don't have the time to name them all. Seriously, just ask Tim. So take the time to look for Daily Flash TV on your favorite social sites and start following us. That's all the time, Tim. Goodbye.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. We've got your 2 minutes of cuteness right on schedule with this week's edition of Furry Friends. A video has gone viral showing a young lion cub carrying a baby monkey on its back while running through what looks like an African savanna. Now, the poster assures viewers it is 100% real and not AI generated, despite how unbelievable it seems. Replies debate if the video is real, if the two were raised together in captivity or even a conservation center. Experts say friendly interaction is rare in the wild, where lions would typically see monkeys as prey. The clip has sparked amusement and wonder, with many citing Lion King comparisons. Well, Punch the monkey continues to make headlines and break hearts with his cuteness factor. Punch was recently spotted in the enclosure as all the troop members were calling the zookeepers for food. You can see Punch trying to jump up and continue playing while mimicking the chorus of the group with a few whoop whoops. He continued jumping around while repeating the sounds of his fellow macaques. Punch became an internet sensation after he was rejected by his mother, but comforted by a stuffed monkey toy. People cannot get enough of Punch the monkey.
Right? I know, and I think because we all feel for him, like we personify him, and we all are rooting for him as well. So, and you know what? That's what animals are there for, right? For us to feel like, you know what? Let's love something, and it's great that we can catch up and see what old Punch is doing.
Something tells me we've all had a punch moment in our life at some point.
We all try to relate,
Yeah.
100%. All right, Jackson, thank you for those furry friends. Let's jump into some trending news stories that's happening around. An 85-year-old theater worker, very, very surprised, with about $146,000, strangers all rallied to help her out to enjoy her retirement. Her name, Mary Ellen Aaron, and she was seen hauling a heavy black garbage bag and pushing a cleaning cart during her shift at a movie theater. And someone put, quote, "Let's secretly help retire this beautiful woman. No one deserves to work at this age." Close quote. Well, the moviegoer launched the fundraiser after seeing Mary hard at work. Mary has been at the movie theater, ready? 45 years. That's how long she's worked. Isn't that incredible, Jackson? She's posted another video showing the moment she was presented with the check from the crowdfunding page. And this is the kind of fundraisers that you'd love to see. And you know, the dedication to work anywhere, to do anything for 45 years, but also to think what a job you really have to love too, because you can see all these great movies as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think she likes to work. You know, maybe some people are thinking she can retire, but I think some people like that place to go every day, and so maybe she can find a happy medium in all of this.
Yeah, and obviously a hard worker still, you know,
Yeah.
lugging around like all the, the trash bags and that sort of thing. And, here's what I love about it. At least she's working in a nice air-conditioned place as well, right?
Yeah,
So she probably does
it's
enjoy
true.
it. Very good.
And with so many snacks.
And snacks everywhere, and all the popcorn you can imagine. And after 45 years, let's hope that the theater kind of pitches in and does something as well when she decides to make that decision. Here's another great story. Imagine this: no textbooks, no homework, no teachers. That is the future of education. It's called the Alpha School, and it's a fast-growing network of private academies that claim to be really revolutionizing education with artificial intelligence. It's called Alpha, and it has locations in Austin, Texas, Miami, San Francisco, and in New York City. Here's the bad part about it, I guess. The tuition is going to cost you up to $65,000 a year. Students spend just about 2 hours a day learning core subjects via AI tutors. Now, across the U.S., a new wave of schools going all in on AI. These schools are drawing the attention of families with parents working in the tech and finance field, so they kind of understand, the parents do, of like how important AI is. They also see this as an alternative to what they considered an outdated traditional education model. Here's the thing: there are still some things you can't do with AI. I would imagine, though, because of the pandemic, there was also an age of kids that grew up, well, I can learn behind a computer and work at my own pace for the most part. So I think they kind of capitalized on that and moved on. But at $65,000 a year, Jackson, where's this money going to? I mean, if there's no buildings, if there's no brick and mortar, somebody's making a lot of money, right?
Yeah, and at $65,000 a year, that's almost as much as what it would cost you to go to an Ivy League college per semester. Yeah, that's a good question. Like, what are you spending the money on, other than maybe the electric bill for the servers for the AI? I don't know. And I still think you need that human interaction. Maybe there's a happy medium somewhere.
Yeah, and especially with AI always giving you the answer you think you want and making you feel really good. And then what about the football team? I mean, where's the pep rallies on Fridays? You need that, right?
Yeah. Where's the cheerleading team?
I agree with you. Thank you there, Jackson. And we thank you. We have more of today's talk, tomorrow's trends coming up right here on Daily Flash. Don't you dare go anywhere.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
Yes, he is. I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with Big Daddy James.
Hey. You know, you're watching this on one of these 219 stations across the great country of ours, or you could be watching this on the American Forces Network across the globe. Now, I mean, if you really want to find out where we are in your neck of the woods, you can go to our website and click on where to watch. So our local friend today comes all the way from Victoria, Texas.
Ooh.
Hey, all right, just get that little Texas accent.
There you go.
Everything's big in Texas, like Victoria. I'm sorry, I'm just making stop.
All right.
KMOL-TV, Victoria, Texas, home to, I'm going to butcher this name. I apologize for everybody from Victoria. Fossati's. delicatessen, opened in downtown Victoria in 1882.
Wow.
And it's the oldest continuously operating deli in the state of Texas.
Really? 1880.
If you're looking for it, you
Man.
hear San Antonio, Houston. So this is a visual there. Hold on. Can you pop me up on screen? San Antonio, Houston, and then this is Victoria. So like a
Oh, wow.
triangle.
Yeah.
So that's where you can find it.
Yeah.
Really close to the Gulf Coast.
Oh man, that's a good place to explore.
Right, yeah. I mean,
I know,
a good place to
right?
live to. If you like, you want to go to Houston one day? Sure.
You don't even have to be in Texas to explore.
There
Just
you go.
get a Felicia. But anyway.
All right, you
You're
can
gonna
do
have to
that.
explain that to me after during the commercial break.
Bye. All right, and we love to hear from you. If you're in Victoria, Texas, or
Yes.
anywhere else in the world, we love hearing from you. Our website's open for you anytime at dailyflashtshow.com. Click at the top, sound off, and you can also send us a voice message, and we love playing it on the air. Okay, Teslas are obviously here to stay. They're not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
Beautiful cars.
Aren't they?
I think they're stunning.
Being inside them, it's part of the. It just feels like the future when you're inside it, and the autonomous driving capabilities of it. You know, wherever you're at with that, it's fun.
Right.
And just like any kind of technology, you have something that's really cool. You have people that want to rig it somewhat, and this is actually now actually becoming a huge problem now, where some owners of electric cars, including Teslas in China, are now taking advantage of Teslas. They have cameras everywhere,
Right.
And they have a camera that aims on you to see if you're paying attention to the road.
Right.
So you're not dozing off,
Yeah.
or even when you're autonomous, you have to be aware of what's going on. So in China, they figured out, well, all you have to do is just put like a little doll in front of the camera. This is true, and I'm not making this up. All you have to do is put a little doll,
Okay.
a doll's head, in front of the camera, right?
Yeah.
And that way, the camera thinks, okay, well, this is the person, so it's paying
Right.
attention. Now, they're not only just selling doll heads; they're selling celebrity doll heads. You can order a doll head that looks like you if you want to, and put it on top of this camera. And so this goes around like all these people that think it's like what they rip off money from other people. They're so creative the way they do it. It's like, why don't you put your minds to good? The doll heads are placed near the rearview mirror. They block the camera's view of the driver. Sometimes you can get them as celebrities, whoever you want. And so, obviously, the camera sees that a face is looking ahead, as it's supposed to do. How much do you think you'd pay for these doll heads?
$25.
Oh, don't! You're scaring me. $2.
40, up to
$40.
$40. Now,
$40.
these are the ones, of course, if you want to get them specially made, $40. But they start around $10. They're targeting the Tesla vehicles. And really, if you can imagine this, that means you put the doll head in there and you can fall asleep or not pay
That's
attention
still
or do whatever.
scary,
It's
though.
very scary.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I cannot do it. I
I don't
can't.
feel comfortable enough to do that.
Liza's car has one of those where you park. You go up and it'll park for you. But it does this. I'll go up and then it goes, and I think it's going to hit no matter what. So I
Yeah.
slam on the brakes. I don't trust it at all. For you to trust a computer to be completely autonomous, I'm not there
Nope.
at all. And,
Nope.
and then
Nor should any of us.
none
really.
of it should be at all. We should be
younger
alert and
generations
aware.
are, though.
It's something to help you out.
Yeah. I mean, the younger generations are willing to let it go and do this autonomous thing. I can't. I don't trust.
I can't.
anything.
Yeah, I've done it before, like on highways.
You
I'm
have?
fine. Yeah, well, where it will keep it between the lines.
Yeah.
But after a certain time, if you don't put your hands back on the steering wheel, it'll cancel it. So you
Okay.
can't do it. So
It used to be called cruise control.
cruise control.
kids.
Really, that's really what it was.
Really, what it still kind of is.
We got LLS with Jackson coming up.
If you live it, love it, or buy it, we talk about it on Life Love Shopping. Here's something you do not see every day. High-end designer PRADA reaching for the planet. Italian fashion house PRADA unveiled a new body-hugging inner layer garment for NASA astronauts, created in collaboration with Axiom Space. The liquid cooling and ventilation garment features knitted ventilation tubes and marks PRADA's continued push to be the first major luxury brand in the space industry. This follows their 2024 spacesuit reveal for NASA's Artemis missions, including Earth orbit in 2027 and a moon landing in 2028. The move by PRADA aims to tap affluent space tourism consumers and boost brand recognition in the luxury sector. Chalance is the new sixth love language as dating apps see a surge in demand for genuine effort. Okay, Take a listen.
These are for you.
They're beautiful, thank you.
Not as beautiful as you.
I love you.
I love you too.
The term chalance is an antonym for nonchalance, and it's exploded on dating apps and social media as singles seek partners who show enthusiastic commitment and effort instead of casual indifference. It represents being all in. Think quick text replies, planned dates, remembering favorites, and openly expressing feelings without playing it cool. Dating app Hinge reports a 217% increase in searches for chalant within the last year. Experts call it a healthy shift toward baseline care and attention in relationships. Highlights the desire for authentic intention and effort as a modern love language. Have you received a package from Amazon wrapped in green and white plastic or sealed with a large barcode? If so, you've likely received a returned item that has been repackaged and sold as new.
Buy anything from Amazon and it comes in a bag like this. It says ready to ship with this green border, or it has a sticker on it with a barcode that says LPN. It means it was a return. This is what the LPN looks like. LPN stands for license plate number. It means it was a return and that when they returned it, someone tagged it so it could track it in the system. Why is it important to know it was a return? Well, sometimes people will buy things, wear things, and then return them as if they were just borrowing them like a library. In the case of clothing, this is a pair of shorts. Probably not a big deal, but what if it's something else? And so when you get it in the mail, just know that if it came in a bag like this, chances are it was...
So what can you do to stop receiving used clothing from Amazon? Verify the condition listed before you check out. Double check your return settings for Amazon resale. Always verify new is selected before adding any clothing item to your cart. Third-party sellers will sometimes discount and list open box returns as used like new or label it as Amazon resale. Check your settings. You might have selected a refurbished or open box deal without even knowing it. If you have received random clothing that you never ordered, it's likely a brushing scam where fraudulent sellers use your address to post fake reviews. Report these deliveries as soon as possible. As for the return of used clothing you thought you ordered new, use the Amazon Return Center and return it as defective, not as described, or sold as new but arrived used. Trader Joe's fans are going gaga for a gorgeous $10 limoncello candle, but it's only available for the summer. TJ's has launched a limited edition limoncello scented candle for summer that's flying off shelves. The soy wax blend candle offers up to 30 hours of burn time with a sweet, fresh, zesty citrus aroma that evokes the Italian liqueur without being overpowering. It comes in a stunning blue and yellow striped ceramic jar that fans call absolutely gorgeous and perfect for coastal or summer home decor. Priced at just $9.99. Being praised on social media as the scent of sunshine. Stock up while you can before it sells out. Hey, for more information on any of these stories, please head to our website, llsshow.com. Once you're there, you can check out previous episodes and get more details on our life, love, shopping topics. And don't forget to follow us on social media at LLS Show is our handle. Stay with us. More coming up right after this. With a commitment to performance-driven nutrition, the Fuel Like Ronaldo campaign aims to incorporate 4 key pillars of health into everyday life. Joining us now with more is Dr. Chrissy Ladner with Herbalife. Doctor, great to have you. What can the rest of us learn from how elite athletes like Ronaldo fuel and recover every day?
Absolutely. I think we all want to perform like an elite athlete, right? So if you're thinking of ways that you can adopt these principles, we got to think it's not just talent, it's structure. They're eating consistently, they're having enough protein, they're hydrating, and they're recovering. So if you can adopt these principles, then you can make big changes in your life as well.
Yeah, it's all about routine, it seems like. Tell us about Herbalife's Fuel Like Ronaldo campaign and the 4-step framework it outlines.
Yeah, we try to make it nice and simple. And these are the same principles that we use with our elite athletes. So the first is going to be prepare. You're eating consistently, you're hydrating. Second is going to be perform, making sure that you're really watching your performance and maintaining your energy and fluid levels during. And then third is going to be recover. Make sure your recovery is part of your training. So we got to rest and we got to repair our fluids and nutrients that we used during exercise. And then lastly is repeat. We just want to make sure that we're repeating those 3 steps consistently because our body loves consistency, right?
Yes.
And we want to make these habits.
Rinse and repeat. I love it. What are a few ways we can tell if our body is not getting the hydration and the nutrients it needs?
Absolutely. So a few signs of dehydration are going to be dizziness, brain fog, fatigue, lots of sweating, right? So we want to make sure we're paying attention to our body cues. And so once you can figure that out, then you can also pay attention to if you're drinking enough throughout the day. You might need to add in carrying a water bottle with you or having an electrolyte drink if you sweat a lot or it's really hot outside, like coming in these summer months.
Yeah, especially here in Florida, for sure. We need that. Dr. Chrissy Ladner,
Yes.
where can our viewers go for more information?
Oh, yes, we would love for you to follow up on this. So you can find these 4 simple steps and some more information from our sport and nutrition experts at fuellikeronaldo.com.
Dr. Chrissy Ladner, thank you so much. We're going to post this information on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
All right, stand by.
For what?
You know they say don't say something.
Who's they?
Is the teleprompter supposed to move?
Stand by.
No.
Okay, unstand by.
If this guy tells me to stand by one more time, I'm gonna...
Guys, let's all just take a breath.
Mutant breaths.
This is Tim.
Stand by.
For the first time ever, America's most iconic chicken noodle soup now has a gluten-free variety.
This is huge. Campbell's has partnered up with Bonza. They're the #1 better-for-you pasta brand. And together, they've launched a new gluten-free version of Campbell's iconic chicken noodle soup.
It's the same chicken noodle soup taste you know and love, but made with Bonza's chickpea pasta instead of traditional noodles.
You know, Jackson, I grew up eating Campbell's chicken noodle soup. My kids grew up eating it. And it's even right now in my pantry. I just can't wait anymore.
Okay.
Let's give it a shot here. It smells amazing already, right?
It smells like home. Good, right?
Indeed.
Delicious. If you are looking for a delicious gluten-free option, definitely give this new Campbell's soup a try.
You can learn more at campbells.com. And as always, we're going to have this and so much more on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
Bon appetit.
All right, moving right along. An innovative treatment option is challenging how ACL tears have been treated for decades and helping healing a torn ACL instead of replacing it with a graft. Joining us today is orthopedic surgeon Dr. Scott Sigmund with more.
So who is the Bear implant right for? Well, the FDA has approved this Bear implant now from the age of 2 all the way up, no restrictions. So we've done it in masters tennis players all the way down to high-risk patients as well. Whether it's weekend warriors or high-risk patients, the Bear implant can still be utilized. It's really the most important thing is that there's tissue that's available for the repair. Timeline doesn't matter if you had injured it last week or it's been 6 months. And for those patients that are really interested in long-term knee health, we have really good news. We've been following the Bear implant with the FDA out to 6 years at this time. There's a 6-time reduction in the incidence of knee arthritis for the patients that have undergone the Bear implant versus traditional ACL reconstruction. And in my 30 years of clinical practice, that is profound. So the best place to go for more information at this time is the bearimplant.com/soccer. That's bearimplant.com/soccer.
More food stuff. I love it. Turns out, Jackson, we have been making a huge breakfast faux pas. There's an etiquette expert. His name's William Hansen, and he's revealed that there's an actual proper way to eat cereal, and it involves not using one utensil, but 2. Check this out.
I gotta see this.
Here's how to eat breakfast cereal. First of all, add your milk of choice. I'm going for semi. And then, with a spoon held in your dominant hand and the fork in your non-dominant hand, you will eat. Now, it's not soup, so you don't need to scoop away from you like you would with soup, but you can use the fork to push some corned flakes onto your spoon and eat accordingly.
All right, as William got beat up in high school a lot, he really... First off, can we go back to that? Who eats bowl? No, this is a bowl of cereal. Like when I eat cereal, that ain't a bowl.
Yeah.
You see how
That's
small
a
that is?
giant UFO saucer with a tiny little dot of cornflake in the middle.
I appreciate if you eat cereal this way. It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where the candy bar, Mr. Wick would eat it with a
knife and fork.
Knife and fork. Okay, that's obviously, I think, how the UK eats it. Here in America, first off, you get you a Jethro Bodine bowl. And you might use like a spoon like this, but when you eat cereal, you're supposed to hold it like this.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
And
And just
pour
shovel it right in there.
That's what you're supposed to do. I had a bowl, and I gave it to my son, and basically it was called a cereal bowl. And basically the concept was you had a bowl, but obviously it looked like a bowl, but it also had like this little reservoir that goes up on the top.
Like a moat?
Like a moat. There you go. Yeah, like up at the top, just kind of like a bathing pool, if you will. And what you do is you pour your cereal in, put your milk in, you'd eat it normally. But what happens at every bowl of cereal? There's milk left over. So that reservoir would be. It would have it had like a little slide, and you would just kind of hand it out, and then the cereal would go in the bowl, and then you had a little bit more. Instead of going to get the box and pouring it into
Yeah, so you had
he
a
still
little
has
extra.
that bowl.
Does
but,
he really? I think you want that back.
actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I do, because I miss it. There's no way I'm eating it with a fork and spoon.
Well, the way he was doing it, it's known as eating continental in Europe.
Is that really?
When you're
Okay.
eating with a knife and a fork, or a fork and a spoon, or a knife and whatever. But so he's eating cereal continental style, which is interesting.
And we get a lot of our proper techniques, obviously,
Yes.
from Europe and that sort of thing. I'm sure he looks normal doing that, but you do that at a Denny's here and Duluth.
You will be laughed out of the diner.
Hey, look at this guy over here.
And I know I've shared this with you before, but my mom used to make us eat really healthy cereals, but she didn't realize that I was pouring like half a jar of sugar on the grape nuts and just scraping the sugar off the bottom of the bowl.
That was the best part of it, right?
With a scoop of the grape nuts or Cheerios or granola or whatever
It used to be corn flakes. You put sugar on it, it became Frosted Flakes. And Frosted Flakes says, why don't we just make cereal this way? They eat it anyway. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson.
A 40-year-old executive hopes to save his career by joining a group of 20-somethings on a wild 3-day bachelor party. This is today's must-watch movie, 72 Hours.
Listening, human trafficking. Everybody going to jail. Hands on your head. Maybe guys can clear it up.
This guy is a stranger that is on our bachelor party. He vomited on us, and then we had to get naked.
He's like our friend, but he's older than us. So he's like our daddy. Guys, you're not helping.
You gotta see this. I'm in a random group chat with some guys planning their bachelor party. They're inviting me.
To Miami? Yeah, they want me to go.
My boss thinks I'm getting too old. Sorry, baby. It's fine. This is my opportunity to connect with the youth.
It's the kind of beat to go.
It's really weird that you came. I had no idea you were like 50.
No, man, I'm 40.
That's still so many years to be. We got 72 hours.
Shower up and put on your good panties. You look like a bad genie.
You look like shorter pit bull.
I like it.
Money, get it, drop it to the floor.
First, we chilling and grilling by the pool.
Oh my God, look at all these women around. Be like freshmen. Be like me, man.
Where are they coming from?
Then, we hitting the club, boys, and guess what? No survivors.
Pull your It's enough. No for you.
And then, party bus. We're hitting South Beach tonight. Can I offer you some Zen? I'm gonna do 2.
I'm gonna do 3.
Oh.
My lips are getting up.
Have you been swallowing them?
Oh, what the Joe? Huh? Come on, Joe.
Something's off about this guy.
Are you a police officer?
Me?
Prove you're not a cop. Do the drugs. What, you heard dead men walking?
It's the kind of beat to go rat-tat.
Tonight we in the major league. Follow me.
We gotta go.
Guys, jellyfish at 9 o'clock. Oh my God! No, your face. My face what?
It's a cauliflower face.
I think it got me. No, we don't. It got me.
It's the kind of beat to go. It's the kind of beat to go. It's the kind of beat to go.
Joe, before you go.
Yeah.
You look like an unsuccessful swinger.
Yeah, you look like Black Elton John.
Love Kevin Hart.
All right, thanks for spending time with us today. More information's on our website.
Yeah, be good, everybody. DailyFlashShow.com. We'll see you right back here, same time, same place.
Boy.